Hello and welcome to my channel Close to the Edge, where we talk about all things prog rock, classic rock, heavy rock and maybe even a sticker rock. Stick around, you just never know. Today I'm going to do my top 10 ranking of one of the great bands in the history of rock music, Led Zeppelin. And the reason I'm doing it this weekend is because the film Becoming Led Zeppelin has just been released in the cinema there a couple of days ago. And I'm going to give it an old crack, as they say. Anyway, my top 10 favourite songs by Zeppelin. This is very hard now, because I could have picked 50, in fairness, and there's so many songs I left out. It could be any 10, but these are the 10 favourites at this moment in time. Right, my number 10 is from the 1970 album Led Zeppelin 3, and it's the opening track on Led Zeppelin 3. It's the Immigrant Song. And I remember when I heard this first back in the day, the way he starts off with his Robert Plant and his vocals. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable track. Now, I have to say, when I heard this album first, and that kicked it off, the Immigrant Song, I said this is going to be some album. And I was disappointed with it in many respects. But in retrospect, it's a brilliant album. It was different. They dared to be different. They went on, Plant and Page went off into North Wales in a country retreat and did a lot of acoustic sessions, and that's what this album came out of. But the Immigrant Song, unbelievable, and it's brilliant on that film School of Rock with Jack Black, when he does it when he's driving the van, and absolutely brilliant track. And he had to get down on his bended knees to let Robert Plant, Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones get permission to play that song on it, and it really made that film. Anyway, that's my number 10, the Immigrant Song. My number 9 is from the 1976 album Presence, and it's the track Nobody's Fault But Mine. Absolutely classic track. Down and down and down, down. Unbelievable. Just pure rock, class. I think they were at their peak at this stage, at their absolute peak on this album, and I love that track. The drumming on it, the guitar work, the singing on it is absolutely incredible. And of course, the understated John Paul Jones on bass, one of the best bass players in rock music, just so understated, never in the limelight, but absolutely brilliant. That's my number 9. My number 8 is from the very first album released in 1969, even though it was recorded in 68. Is the last track on side 1 on the LP originally, Dazed and Confused. Boom, 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 boom. Unbelievable. The way it starts off, very slowly, builds and builds and builds then to an incredible climax with absolutely stunning guitar work by Jimmy Page. And this is just a brilliant track from a brilliant, amazing debut album. But anyway, that's my number 8, Dazed and Confused. My number 7 is from their last official studio album in many respects before John Bonham passed away, unfortunately. I know they brought out Coda later on to fulfill their contract, but this is Klaus Alhambra from Into the Outdoor. Now, I know this is a keyboard kind of dominated album, kind of Jimmy Page had kind of left the building in many respects. He wasn't involved as much in the writing on this album, excuse me, as he would have been on previous albums, obviously. But I think this is an amazing, brilliant long track, and the drumming on this is amazing by John Bonham, one of the greatest drummers in rock music. But I love Klaus Alhambra. Now, this would be probably my least favourite album in the Led Zeppelin catalogue, but still an excellent to brilliant album, really, because they don't have any bad albums. But Klaus Alhambra, number 7. My number 6 is the last track on side 2 on the original LP, When the Levee Breaks, and this was inspired, I believe, by Memphis Minnie, and I love this track. This is my favourite track on this album. I know you have Stairway to Heaven on this, Black Dog, Rock and Roll, but I love When the Levee Breaks. It's always been my favourite track on this album. What a brilliant closer, and the harmonica on it is absolutely brilliant. Everything about this track, a real blues track, but with Led Zeppelin's take on it. Their take on it was totally different than a lot of other bands. They brought it to a new level in many respects. Anyway, that's my number 6, When the Levee Breaks. Now, before I get into my top 5, I want to just say a very, very big thank you to all my new subscribers who have subscribed in the last week or so. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the community. And all to my returning viewers, very loyal viewers, subscribers, they're very loyal to my channel. And my channel is growing, nice and slowly, but we're getting there. And I know you like Kevin, and Kevin will be back again very, very soon. And I might have a few other guests. I might have a few surprises. You never know. I'm working on that at the moment. But anyway, thank you very, very much to everyone who watches. And I do appreciate it. I really do. Right, top 5. This is from Led Zeppelin 2, Bring It On Home. That's my favourite track on this brilliant, brilliant second album. Of course, released again in 1969. And I love that track. The guitar riff at the start. Unbelievable. Unbelievable track. Now, I know you get a whole lot of love on this and Heartbreaker, but this has always been my favourite track on this album. Short enough track, but absolutely superb. I absolutely adore it. That's number 5. Number 4 is from the 1973 album, The Houses of the Holy. And the track is The Song Remains the Same, the opening track. That was, I believe, originally supposed to be an instrumental track. Then Robert Plant penned some lyrics for it. It was very proggy. Proves that they could do prog. They were that good, musician-wise they were that good. And it is a prog track, and it's my favourite track again on this album. I love this track. Absolutely superb. The drumming, the guitar work, the bass work, the singing, everything comes together on this track. You know what I mean? They were at the height of their powers. They were at the height of their powers for about 5 or 6 years, 7 years. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. My number 3 is from Physical Graffiti, and it's the track In My Time of Dying. A long enough track, but absolutely amazing. So heavy. One of the heaviest tracks they've ever done when it gets going, because it starts off again slowly, but when it gets going, doom da doom, doom da doom, unbelievable. Absolutely an amazing track. That's my number 3. Kashmir. Oh, sorry, In My Time of Dying. Moving on, because my number 2 is from the same album, Kashmir. It's kind of a very classical kind of sound to this track. It's unbelievable track. It's after being covered many, many times, and one of the greatest tracks that they ever recorded, because it's different and the singing on it, absolutely unbelievable. But my number 1 track, I'm going to take a drink here before we get to the number 1. What would you think will be my number 1 when I get out the album, because I have to go back to an album? What would you think? Might surprise a few. It's from Presence, which is my favourite Led Zeppelin album, and it's the track, the opening track, Achilles' Last Stand. Unbelievable track. Unbelievable. It's prog rock, and as anyone who knows or watching this channel know, I'm a huge prog rock nerd, or some people may say that I'm a prog rock idiot in many respects for liking prog rock, but I love prog rock, and this is prog rock. As good as any prog rock track from any prog band. Achilles' Last Stand. And I remember I heard a cover version of this from Dream Theater. They did a brilliant cover of this track. Really good, but you can't beat the original. That's my number 1 track from the album Presence, released in 1976, Achilles' Last Stand. I didn't think now I'd pick that one. But it is. It's my favourite album, sure. So it's bound to be very, very high on the list. Anyway, so there you have it. Anyway, that's my top 10 favourite songs from the great Led Zeppelin. And hopefully now I'm going to get to see that film very, very, very soon. Hopefully I'm going to get to see it on Tuesday, Becoming Led Zeppelin. Go and see it. If you're a big Led Zeppelin fan, go and see it. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you do, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. But anyway, it's nice to be nice, and whatever you're doing, stay safe. Stay safe. And until the next time, here on Close to the Edge, bye for now. Goodbye.